All right, we're now joined by DEDD. We got Joe, the vocalist, and David, the guitarist. How are you today?
Great, man.
Doing good, man.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
I know it's all ramping up to the big release.
Yeah.
You know, I know you've been working hard on the album and the video and everything. It must feel real good, you know, coming together.
It does, man. We've
Yeah,
been working on it for a
finally wrapped
long
up.
time. Having it come out
That's
finally is,
beautiful.
have people hear it finally. It's great.
So, just so we can get a little backstory, for each of you growing up, who were like some of your musical heroes? Who did it for you that just got you so consumed with music you couldn't stop?
So many people.
Yeah. Just pretty much everybody, even early days like Michael Jackson stuff,
Okay.
all the way through like Korn and stuff in high school and listening to Story of the Year and The Used. And
Yeah, I guess if you're gonna do it like that, then it would be Zeppelin and Sabbath and early on the Beatles, that kind of thing, and then slowly into Pantera and White Zombie and Korn, and then into punk rock and hardcore, that whole kind of thing.
So obviously you started knowing a good song, a good melody, a good hook, and then you could always add the intensity on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But a lot of people make the mistake of having all the intensity, but at the bottom of it, there's really no song.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's something that that's the main
Yeah.
thing that we did with this band, was trying to be really heavy, but also hang on to that pop sensibility. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, having a little ear candy, some hooks in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we love a good hook. Right?
Yeah,
Every shoe
yeah.
hook, too, so.
Well, that's beautiful.
It doesn't have to be cheesy to be hooky.
No,
That's the
not
thing.
at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you want something that sticks in the brain or in your heart that, it just makes you feel good. You want to hear it again and again, and whether it be loud or less volume, it still sounds great, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So give us a little background on how the band came together, how you guys met, how you found the other members, everybody gelled, what was the common thread, the energy, the feeling.
We've been working in the studio together for like 10 years, working on songs for fun, songs for other bands, songs for each of our separate bands. So we just got really comfortable in the studio together. And then for a while, we just wanted to actually like make some heavy music that we wanted to find on Spotify, like a band that we enjoy listening to, and we couldn't really find a lot of it in that genre, so we started like stabbing in the dark at this new sound and eventually called it DEDD.
Wow, and how many years has that been?
It's been like 3.5.
Yeah.
Like that. I think something like that. We did. It was mostly in the studio, like you're saying. It's just more of a creative thing, us being in there. And then we got the other guys in the band, Matt and Kyle, and we started playing it as an actual band. And then it was just really for fun. We weren't like trying to really we didn't have a thought of the success or anything like that. We're like, we'll play at some dive bars, just be really heavy and have fun with it. That was kind of the idea, because we'd been in bands before too, and we were both, we're just kind of like, let's just have fun with music. And it made for this. It made for some music that got the biggest reaction we've ever gotten from anything we've ever done in our lives.
That's great.
So.
And what was it about the other band members that the feeling was right, that everything kind of gelled you one unit?
It was organic. We were actually just hanging out as friends at the time, and that's also something that's important. Again, being in bands again, and then they're badasses at their instruments and that too, and that just happened to work that way.
Yeah.
But there's something about a cohesiveness as people, as well as players too. But you need to be on the same page mentally to have a band be successful and
Spend your lives together.
Yeah, it's very important. Like it works. It doesn't work a lot. I've had a handful of bands since I was little, and you see what works for you, what doesn't. So
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, I know the band comes from Phoenix. You guys originally from Phoenix, or where's everybody hail from?
yeah, we all went to like school there and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, high school and stuff.
So true Arizona
True
bred.
Phoenicians.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So you used to the heat, so nothing phases you, I
Nothing
guess.
Really. Oklahoma was pretty friggin' hot.
The humidity
Yeah,
screws
we
us
just did
up.
Rocklahoma. It was
Right.
hot, man.
That and tornadoes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, once you get in the southeast, that humidity is a little
It's brutal.
little different on
Pretty
top of the
rugged.
heat.
Yeah, Arizona's hot. It was 109 when we left. So we
Wow.
were stoked. We came here, we went straight to the beach.
It's
Went
like
straight to
70
Santa
or
Monica.
80 out there.
Yeah,
It's beautiful out
it's
here.
beautiful. Yeah.
So now I know a lot of, metal guys have ended up out there in Arizona. Rob Halford and Scott
Mustaine
Travis
lives there.
and
Mustaines.
Yeah,
Mustaine.
Chad Gray lives out there now from Hell Yeah. He lives out there too.
oh, does he
I
really?
think Head has a house out there from Corn too.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Alice Cooper,
Of
for
course.
sure. Yeah, Alice Cooper, yeah.
He's like the mayor out there.
Yeah, he's got a radio show. I love listening to his show, man. He's just a cool dude to listen to.
Yeah,
Like his
yeah.
voice.
Well, it seems like you're close enough to LA or Vegas or wherever you need to be, but you can kind of chill and do your own thing. And
Yeah, we're
I really
this is
enjoy
like our
that.
second home now. Like we
Yeah.
come to LA all the time. Our producer John Feldman lives out here, and our label's out here, Sure-Tone. So we're out here.
Yeah.
Now.
well, tell us the evolution. As the band started slugging away, coming up with these songs, you know, playing the clubs. How did you get the interest of Jordan Schur, who, of course, you know, legendary from the Geffen years with Limp Bizkit and everything, all that. What led to you guys kind of teaming up and making a deal?
It was honestly kind of just like people started calling and asking about the band. We caught the interest of Feldman, and from working with him, people hearing him and him showing it to people, we then caught the interest of Jordan Schur and a bunch of other people, and we just vibed the best with Jordan, and it kind of just kept going from there. Someone would play our songs to an office full of people, and then they were calling us to go, we want to work on this too.
People are just reacting really head over heels over it a lot.
That's
All for a band
amazing.
that hadn't released a song and just was like all studio work and
Never
live
released.
shows.
We've released 2 songs. We started releasing
Yeah,
songs in
3 years.
December, so we were a band for like 3 years. No songs released.
So basically, Feldman kind of took you under his wing
He did,
before the
yeah.
before the labels came calling.
100%. Well, yeah. Well,
And,
we had labels
he
calling us
heard
too
some
before
music
that
or
as
saw
well.
a show.
He heard music.
He heard some music, and then he had us come out.
We played at his house, and
He had us come out for lunch, and then after lunch, he was like, "You guys want to write a song?"
yeah,
And then
yeah. He's
just started
He's
with
pretty.
that.
He's pretty in the moment.
yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know he's on a hot streak, you know, with all these records as he's doing.
Just
And
did Blink, the last Blink
Yeah,
album. I got a Grammy
yeah.
nom for that.
Yeah.
And Black Veil Brides, Disturbed, Beartooth. Like he's doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
finished a great Goldfinger album too. Which,
Right.
Which is his band.
yeah, that's amazing. What is it about him? What's the spirit that you think has got him in that spot where he's making great records?
It's a couple things.
yeah. He's really in the moment and a run with it kind of guy, but also like a strong believer in just go with your gut, and you can run with it as much as you want. So he just flies through projects, but none of it like feels. He doesn't fake anything of it. His energy is like extremely real.
And he's great with melodies. He's great with lyrics. Growing up and listening to Goldfinger and stuff. I mean, and then he did the Used album. The Story of the Year and the Used were like big albums for us growing up. And like he captures people in a certain way, and he's just got it. He knows good stuff when he hears it. I feel like I saw him say that in an interview once. Like he's like, the first couple times I found bands that were successful, it was like, okay, cool. But now I've done it with like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or a million. He's like, now it's not. Now you know that I just get it when I see somebody. And I think he's right. You know,
So the fact that he's like a musician and a writer himself probably translates real well to the producer role.
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
He gets to walk that line, and
He knows
wrote
both
some of the
sides very well.
songs. Wrote some of the songs with us.
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of thing. So it's he's good
Okay.
at that, man, for sure.
Now, besides all these people that came calling, what was it about Jordan and the Sure-Tone guys that felt right?
His energy, he's just a really real dude. And you can feel that in the room. Despite everything that he's done, when you're talking to him, you can tell he's truly listening and thinking with you, and he doesn't talk at anybody. He's really like, I don't know, just understanding and diplomatic in conversation, which is really nice.
Yeah, and he was one of the guys that he was persistent.
Yeah.
Right. Some of the other labels we talked to, some of the stuff they had to say was not interesting to us. He was persistent and he was genuine, and you can just feel that. Like you can feel that.
Yeah.
That vibe from him.
It felt natural.
And
So you got the
he's a
vision you
fucking
guys
legend, too.
were trying to come
Yes.
across with, and
Yeah, because that's us
Absolutely.
too. Like we didn't even care. Like I said, we didn't care if we did anything with the band, right? So if it didn't feel right, we probably wouldn't have done it, you know. So if
Yeah.
we wouldn't have found John and Jordan and everything and had it go, maybe we would have just been like, cool, we'll just release this like on SoundCloud and not do anything with it. But the fact that everybody got behind it and everything, we were just like, well, this makes sense. Let's go with it.
was
But
really
we
cool.
didn't need it to happen, you know. So that's another thing why
He
it
was one of the
worked.
people that jumped out of his chair when he heard it.
Yeah,
So
he
which
was
nice.
he was stoked, man.
It wasn't just a person that goes, "Oh, your name's running around the industry. I think we can work on this." He was like, "I love this. We have to do this. Love what you guys are doing." And that's a really cool reaction when you're just doing something for the fun of it. We didn't have to release it, and we didn't really like. If we weren't comfortable in the whole process, we would have been just fine not releasing it.
Yeah.
So to have it like come together with someone who's so like, "No, you guys are the visionaries for this. I just want to help your vision," as opposed to, "I think I can market you this way." It
yeah.
was really fun.
Yeah.
So you guys weren't going in there desperate, begging for a deal, ready to sell your soul. You kind of had this attitude, like if If it's not
Yeah.
right, then it's not meant to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Fred Durst ends up directing the video. Obviously, you know, he goes way back with Jordan. But tell us about Anti-Everything and how, you know, not only the background on the song, what that's all about, but, you know, the making the video.
Yeah. The song we did with John. The song was like they laid down the music that day, and the song was like a phrase. It was a phrase that was just kind of sticking with me. Sometimes I do that with phrases. I'll write songs around a strong message, a strong phrase. Another song called Architect. Certain things like that. That song is just, to me, that phrase was about separating myself from all types of labels and just being my own thing. And that's what I want other people to do if they have the means to do so. I think, you know, everybody should think for themselves, not put themselves into groups. Be an individual as much as you can. That's the idea behind it. It's not literally being anti-everything, because that's impossible. I've had people say that, whatever. But having that song be the single is awesome because it's a big statement, and it's kind of our whole ethos. Even like we were saying when we came in the band, like, we don't need anybody to like this. We're doing this because we like it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it. And if you guys don't like it, if no one responds to it, well, then we liked it, so we don't lose. You know, I don't give a shit.
Doesn't matter to me.
We made the meal and it tastes great to us. So that's the whole thing with it. And then having Fred come in, like, Jordan obviously had worked with Limp Bizkit, and he you know, told us I'll send it over to Fred because he's done some videos. He's done like Korn videos and Stained and everybody and Limp Bizkit videos. And you know, he told us, like, hey, if he doesn't like it though, he's not going to do it. That's not how it works, you know, that kind of thing. And he ended up responding well. We got in there with him. We came out to LA and did it, and hit it off with him. Like,
it was really cool. He's one of those dudes, like, when you first started talking to him, you could tell he was interested in the project, but then wanted to meet us as people, which is always really nice. You know, like, you want to know, like, that you vibe right, especially to make a project like a video. And within 10 minutes, he was just in the circle. We were just laughing. It was like we had hung out with him forever anyway. So
yeah.
He really was just good at getting to know who you were and what you were looking for, and then going with your vision, not just like making something up on the fly.
Yeah. So as far as the finished video goes, how much of that was kind of his idea, and how much did you tell him what the vision was?
That's him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a
Is
lot
it
of
him?
it was him.
So you heard the song and presented you guys with the idea?
Yeah.
Exactly. Put us with the idea, and then when we were there, we brainstormed a lot while we were there working on it. Like, we had talks of just doing it. There's like a little clip in it in the beginning where we're like kind of just like alien, like Thin Man things. We talked about just having that be the whole video, honestly, where you don't even really see us like at all, and like, we're okay with that too.
Yeah.
But, you know, we kind of gave him liberties. He sent it back to us, and we loved the first take of it, which never happens. Wasn't it? It was the first one.
That was the very first thing.
Yeah, and we're picky, like really
Especially
picky.
with video stuff.
And he sent it back, and we're like, "This is sick." He just understood us, you know. And it was awesome. He knocked it out of the
Really
park.
cool.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you guys got the best of both worlds. You got you guys coming from the major leagues, but thinking independent and really, you know, working more organically.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Like, ultimately, we have all the power of working with the major league people, but we come from like that underground metalcore kind of scene or whatever, and that's how we want to do things. So.
And what are some of the greatest things you guys feel about the new, more independent entrepreneurial industry that's kind of less corporate and more, you know, hands-on,
Less
direct to
cooks in the
the
kitchen.
fans?
Yeah, like less cooks in the kitchen. Like, you can actually focus on what you need. There's not a million people with their hand in it, saying what this, saying what that, and then maybe you wouldn't even want to do that in the first place. And you really get to just have a lot more control about your brand and how people see your product.
Yeah.
So no corporate fingerprints on the product, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little
Corporate
bit,
feedback,
right?
we like
we
Yeah.
like the feedback.
I mean, you
Yeah.
put a little gloss on it, but I'm saying you're
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
giving the fans the pure band, you
Yes.
know, what you guys do for real, and,
Exactly.
you know,
Absolutely.
not somebody telling you what to say or look like or,
I mean,
or
we
do.
like, you know, they give us ideas. We like hearing all ideas because obviously
Yeah.
a lot of the ideas are great, but if it's just not right, it's not right. And
Yeah.
we have they're cool. We have a
We have a very good
respectful
understanding.
relationship with each
Yeah.
other. So everybody, you know, we overanalyze. We'll talk to Jordan for like 3 hours at the end of the night. We'll overanalyze everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, make sure it's right. We're all workaholics.
That's one of the things that was
It's
cool
what
about
it is.
Jordan is he calls us and we have general like open conversation about decisions, and he, at the end of the day, always says, but it's what you guys want, so just go with your gut.
Yeah. So we
And there's been
ultimately
times that we completely disagree, and we tell him, dude, we got to do this. And he goes, okay, love you guys.
Yeah, it's good.
So you have kind of more feedback, more brainstorming, more ideas, more angles, but ultimately you have the final say.
Yeah.
That's a definite great scenario.
It doesn't happen often.
Yeah, yeah. Now, obviously, you go down to with Korn. You've been doing a lot of these big festivals, around the country, and hope to be seeing you guys at Aftershock coming up in the fall.
We're so
Yeah, man. Tell us about first time you're stepping out on a stage, and it's this like, bigger venue, bigger stage. You have to kind of alter your show. Is it the same show as a club? What's the attitude when you're playing like a festival?
I know for me, personally, I engage the crowd more than I would when we're playing at a small club. You can kind of rock out more and just be in your own thing because it's all right there. Some people you have to try to connect with people that are farther back. Or, like, you have more of a stage, too, so, like, you want to be able to, like, use your space wisely, I guess. I don't know what you do differently.
I mean, there is a difference, I guess, especially at the festivals. There's, like, the big barricade in the front.
Right, there's a distance to the front crowd.
You're separated, and that's my job, really, as the singer, is to connect with the people and really get close to them, which, when we're at clubs, yeah, I'm like in the crowd, I jump down and get in the crowd sometimes, actually, too, so it's a little different in that sense, but at the bigger festivals, there's an energy that people really have that's crazy. You don't have to necessarily, it feels like you don't have to work as hard, almost, and they're just going nuts because it's just like a bigger platform, I guess, or something. But we're still working hard, right?
Yeah.
We can't like let that go.
Yeah, you trying to reach the people that aren't necessarily in the crowd, but out there that might come into the
and we
crowd.
saw that like Rock on the Range. We played around 4:00. There was maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people in the front, which was cool. And by the middle of our set, end of our set, like it just poured in, and it was as far as we could see. It was crazy,
really cool.
Yeah, and just crowd surfers, pit on both sides, and solid thing. So the more festivals we do, the better we're going to be at translating that.
Yeah, it's good to have all those types of experiences. Now, obviously, I know there was, hanging in the air for Rock on the Range was the passing of Chris Cornell.
Right.
What do you learn from, some of the passings of some of these great guys that, you kind of got to take things in balance or make sure you don't, go too far on one, one side of the ledge.
Yeah, you need to learn to balance at least as much as you can, the high from the stage and then the low of just being in a dark vehicle driving hundreds of miles down the freeway.
Yeah.
Or being in a lone hotel room. It is kind of, it's really different, and for some of these people it get really high and really low. You just need to have like a support system outside of you, but I think it sucks just seeing all the people leave like so early, and you're like, wow, we were just going to watch him in 2 days.
Yeah.
And then to see so many thousands of people in one place affected by that, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's we've lost too many in the last few years, and there's a thought that pretty soon a lot of our heroes are going to be gone, and where's the next wave to fill that gap? Losing a Bowie or a Prince or a Chuck Berry, these are not easily replaceable people.
Right.
And it's I'm sure you guys draw from from the past, but it's important to go out there and take chances, your sound, your look, your attitude, obviously you're charting a new course and looking to make a difference. Now, tell us about any of the other songs you feel are highlights, on the album. Any interesting stories, angles, messages, anything you'd like to talk about with the other songs?
Well, the album's called Misanthrope. It's really about, I didn't really necessarily do this on purpose, but it's really just about being just really disappointed in humans as of recent, I guess. And even in myself, I include myself in that, and you talk about Chris Cornell and everything, and like some people, I battle with anxiety and depression. I go to therapy and stuff like that for it, So I'm trying to fix myself, and I just don't see a lot of people taking responsibility for their part of making the world a shitty place. and I just want people to be more cognitive and conscious and thoughtful, and so I'm frustrated with that for sure, and that's kind of the theme of a lot of my stuff. It's mad at myself or mad at other people. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And the idea is to grow and to be conscious and to try to be better, and that I want other people to do that. And I'm angry about it, and that's just kind of my outlet for that. I guess that's kind of the vibe, man. It's
pretty much the whole
pissed
record.
off.
It's all right and missing,
Pissed
bro.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're trying to shake people up and encourage them to go do something. Don't follow. Don't sit back.
Absolutely.
Don't
100%.
Don't waste your
An
life.
empowering thing, man. It's angry, and like we've said, growing up when I was little, I needed albums that were really angry, and they really connected with me, and I didn't go out and kill anybody. It made me feel better to have somebody else be mad.
Yeah.
This
You
guy
could
was
release
yelling
it.
for me, when
Yeah.
I was a kid, when I was growing up, and hopefully I can be that person that yells for another kid and tells him, like, do the best you can, be yourself, do your thing.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I know you were recently on, a lot of these special media that you do on Six Sense Radio with
Yeah.
Nikki Sixx, the guys that have been there for decades doing this thing. You pick up anything? You learn something from some of these guys, the veterans out there?
I think you learn something in every conversation with everybody in this business, honestly. But a lot of those veterans, you really see like how calm and collected the really successful ones are.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah, the
definitely
loose
something.
cannons. I haven't met many of them.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
older ones. Everybody's pretty smart and business minded,
Yes.
regardless of how you might perceive them, or maybe just they're a little bit older now too. But
Yeah.
I feel like most of the people are pretty calculated in the steps that they're doing, and they're pretty smart about it. And we do that too at shows. We play all these festivals with all these bands.
Yeah.
We're up there watching what works and what doesn't work. We're always researching,
Sure.
having fun, but researching at the same time.
Yeah, trying to absorb
Absolutely.
and pick up something
Always.
that you can use. And I always say sometimes the bigger the star, so to speak, the more humble they are. You're really shocked that it's a lot of these mid-level guys that got these funky attitudes.
Yeah.
The big guys, they're real chill and very humble and don't really,
That's why
need
they
an ego
succeeded.
stroke.
That's why they succeeded, because they're cool dudes, and the universe and other people want to help people like that. It's just how it works.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Positive.
So now, what are you looking forward to on the Corn tour?
Everything.
The Corn tour.
Yeah, like just
The
playing the
whole-
shows, watch them every night, being able to learn from them. They're a very big influence on what we do, like not just musically too, like business wise. Like they're really smart. They've taken a brand worldwide with a sound that we really enjoy and look up to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Stilled Sour's on it. Yellow Wolf's on it. Like, there's a lot of sick. I mean, we're stoked to just watch it every day.
Oh wow!
We're playing to a lot of people at the shows, so I mean, it's gonna
Most
be great.
excited for the shows, but definitely excited to watch Korn too.
Yeah.
Every night. Yeah, we've gotten
Yeah.
to see them a couple times on some of these festivals, and it's awesome. They were one of my first concerts when I was little, and then now it's like we get to like stand side stage and watch them. And it's
Sure.
so rad.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing that Rob Trujillo's 12-year-old kid filled in for Fieldy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
didn't seem to miss a beat, or
No, they did just fine.
the crowd loved it.
He has a good teacher for bass. So.
Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah.
say, yeah.
It's got good DNA.
For sure.
No question about it. So now I know you're coming out as a new band, but you've got some history, some experience, behind you. What advice do you give to a young band, a young musician, somebody coming up today? Not so much the business, because that's constantly evolving, but as far as the work ethic, the mind state, the perseverance or passion you have to have for this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I would never want to tell anybody what to do necessarily, but I could say, be a positive person. Work hard. Be true to yourself. I would say all those things. Be true to yourself. Work hard. Be positive. Don't burn bridges. It's a small world, small industry, and that's it. I wouldn't tell anybody how to be creative or what they should do, but whatever the success is to you, be like-minded with everybody in your band or your project, and communicate. It's important. All those things is what I would say.
Yeah.
Sure.
I would say practice ethic needs to be pretty intense, and I would say that practice sometimes isn't just like when you have your instruments. Sometimes you're just running around the state getting stickers and not complaining about I need to go do this and I got to do that and whatever. You just take care of whatever you got to take care of for your band, but do it because you really enjoy doing it for you.
Right.
You want to make a T-shirt. Sometimes you get really passionate about a shirt. I get
Yeah.
really passionate about a song. I get really passionate about ordering something. For the band, it's all there for the music, and then just honestly just play your instrument enough to where you really know what you're looking for your band, so you're not just stabbing in the dark. That's pretty important.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, again, the band is Dead. The website where we can find you?
Yeah, Facebook is Dead Official. It's DED Official. Twitter's We Are Dead. Instagram is Dead Official as well. Album comes out July 21st. Missing Throat.
Yes, sir.
It's up for pre-order right now on all the digital outlets, and I think we're gonna have hard copy, like deluxe bundles. Will be up pretty soon.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Can't
for
wait to
having
see
us.
you on stage and see you on the road.
Appreciate you.